Hey everybody, I'm Adam,
I'm Michael.
and today we're going to discuss It Chapter 2, because it was boring, and we're bored in Ohio. So,
Did you get to the theater early? I wanted to ask you that first. I hope you did.
No.
I hope you sat there for
No.
fucking hours like I did.
Why would I get there early?
Traffic.
On a Saturday morning? So you got to be like me. You go see the movie, matinee price, 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, no, I would have.
Yeah.
If I couldn't have seen it earlier, which I did.
Yeah. But, it's fine. But I actually saw this movie so we can discuss it back and forth rather than you just talking at me. So that's exciting, right?
I'm impressed already. Were you pissed? I was a little pissed that they didn't use that great sound effect for it, not a single time in the film.
What sound effects?
From the first film, that...
Oh, that.
Anytime he'd be on screen or something creepy, they would do it in the first film. I thought they would just
I
play it
feel
a
like
little bit
they
here and
did
there.
it-
I'm telling you, I waited for it the whole movie.
I swear I heard it.
Waited for it the whole movie.
Okay. Maybe it's just because I watched the trailer again.
Yeah, the trailer, they do it in the
Yeah.
trailer. But I'm like, where's that cool sound effect? Because it is a cool sound effect. It's almost like a laugh, but it's just a sound effect, and I really liked it.
I don't know.
Maybe that would have helped my review.
No, it wouldn't have.
No.
So there will be spoiler talk in here. I think that's safe to say. Since it's on the podcast, we do spoilers.
Yeah.
If you want to see non-spoiler stuff, check out YouTube for our rapid fire reviews. We won't do any spoilers in there.
Yeah.
But okay, we discussed this shortly before we started recording. We both love the first film,
Yeah.
and I think one of the biggest problems with this film is we're not invested in the adult characters, because we spent a whole film with the kids, and we like the kids, and that's where all the character development was, and they didn't do shit with these adult versions.
Yeah.
And they knew they didn't have shit, so that's why they did all those goddamn flashbacks. I mean, I get some of the flashbacks because they're like going and finding their token. Honestly, the summary of this movie is like a sentence.
Yeah, it is.
Losers go back to Derry to find tokens of their past so they can fight Pennywise. That's it.
That is it. Yeah.
How is that 3 hours long? Right?
Because they had to do a flashback every 7 minutes. That's why.
The flashbacks made sense for the token finding, in my opinion.
And only the token.
And only the token finding.
I
They kept
agree.
on showing like, hey, do you remember that Bill and I don't remember.
Beverly?
Beverly had like a thing,
Yeah.
and they focused way too much on that like love triangle thing.
The fuck's his name? Director. Man.
Muschietti.
Thank you.
I have no idea that's how
He
it's
actually
pronounced.
said in an interview that he wanted to focus on the movie ending on a relationship type deal thing and how they feel about
So
each other.
so he amped it up.
So he amped it.
Okay.
Because one of Stephen
I
King's,
get that as a thematic thing, but
yeah, one of Stephen King's suggestions to him was to end it like it was in the book, and a lot of Derry ends up falling apart and sinking in the holes, and like the water tower goes rolling down the canal and all this stuff, and he wanted to focus more on
ending it on like
a relationship type,
happy note
with everyone. Yeah.
I mean, I get that. I don't mind that take on it, because I mean, that is really what pulls you through the films, is the relationship between these people.
Yeah.
So for it to end on that note makes sense to me.
What's this movie rated?
It's rated R.
Is it R?
Yeah.
What the fuck is with them pulling away every time? It's because they're children, isn't it? It is the frame for when Pennywise's teeth clamp down on a child. Mm-hmm. They show the clamp and immediately pull away.
Oh yeah.
They don't show anything more than
Honestly, I don't want to see it.
that. I do.
I mean, they showed it in the first one with
The arm.
Georgie getting his arm ripped. Like, I guess they showed the bite, but then they showed Georgie trying to crawl away with one fucking arm, which was
When I saw that,
horrifying.
I was like, fuck yeah, this is going to be great because they're going to show the violence and the scariness, and in the rest of the film they didn't really. Even though I loved that first film,
Yeah.
but no, this one was like it's like the violent part of it was where exactly how I wanted it to be in the first one throughout.
Yeah.
And everything else, I was just like, it's literally, I'm telling you, it's literally like he sat there going, all right, whose scene did we just do? Bill's? Okay. Now who do we have down already? Beverly? Ben? Okay. Well, let's get Richie. What's Richie doing? All right, get his shot when the flashback scene ready, because as soon as we put him up, then we're going to do his flashback. Then we're going to go him back up. Then we're going to go Beverly here, Beverly flashback, Beverly here again. Literally,
Yeah.
it was
the exact same formula for each
and
of
just
them.
the whole fucking movie was. I didn't like that. I mean, you knew the pace the whole time. Dun 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 dun. And then they go to the next dun 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 dun.
Now,
I'm
if
just like, fuck.
Pennywise literally popped up in the corner and did that while they did the formula, I'd
Yes.
like that.
I'd give you a C plus.
Let's talk about the things that we actually liked about the film.
Okay.
Because honestly, it's not a bad film. Like, there's plenty
No, it's not
that
bad.
makes it a decent movie.
Yeah.
But go ahead,
I'm
open
sorry.
your coffee cup.
I'm sorry. I can't get the coffee out, man. It's bothering me when I'm trying.
damn it.
You know how tired I am?
You would think after 55 episodes, I think this is our 55th, that you'd
I
have
don't do
some
this
kind
very
of
often.
level of
I
professionalism.
was rushing to get here.
Okay.
I apologize.
You live 12 minutes away.
Only to the listeners, not to you.
Fuck you.
All right. So what did you like? What did we like?
Okay, so, because
Everybody.
honestly, it's not that bad of a film, really.
Yeah.
It's just not. I just don't think it's successful in its goal.
It's not tight enough. Yeah.
The casting choices were top notch. I think everybody they got for the adult versions were perfect choices.
Eddie did nothing for me. Even though I don't think he did bad, I think because the child Eddie, even in the flashback
He's
stuff,
much better.
That kid's just.
Well, like I said, we had a whole film with these kids, and we loved these kids.
Yeah.
They're,
It's really difficult.
Bill
yeah.
Hader was the only one that matched, I think, his counterpart.
I did.
And he's about. Bill Hader's great. So not the rest of the cast is great too. But in the first film, Richie and Eddie were probably the standout characters because they're the funny ones, and they're bickering back and forth, and it was funny. The rest of them were a little more serious.
But you felt something for every one of those kids.
Sure.
Like they put time into character development for each one. Ben, you felt fucking terrible for him because he's a romantic, but he's fat and nobody likes him. And
I think we have the ability to sympathize with children characters more because we remember our childhood and how fuck yeah, I was that fat kid. Fuck yeah, I was that fat kid.
I was too.
But as an adult, you're like, get off your fat fucking ass. We have way less sympathy for adults as adults.
Yeah.
So that goes into another thing about this film, like why this could never have been as successful for the first for me, because we just don't have, as an adult, seeing Pennywise, it's like, okay, there's a fucking clown. As an adult, you're like, okay, creepy ass clown, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
As a kid, you're like, holy shit, look at that fucking clown. Clown's gonna fucking eat me. So the fear factor is not there, and I honestly don't give a shit about their woes in their life as much as adults, because I don't give a shit. Because I'm an adult, I'm like, fuck, I pay taxes and shit too. Get off your ass and take care of your life. Fuck off.
You know, I agree 100% with you. Those are my feelings too.
Anyway.
Although I hate almost everyone, so.
Yeah, I know you do. But anywho, so I thought direction was fine. I think this came down to editing. So I think as far as
too. I think
because it was it's all the same team.
Yeah.
Which
it just seemed kind of weird. It seemed like it was edited by somebody. It seemed like it was edited by two people. There were shots I could tell that the guy edited from the first film, same guy. But then there were other stuff that was too long. It wasn't tight, or it wasn't this, or it wasn't that, and it was bothering the shit out of me.
Yeah. I think everyone did a good job, but to me, Bill Hader was a standout because it's easy to be the standout if you're the funny guy and you're actually funny.
Yeah.
I actually liked Eddie.
he bothered me for some reason. I can't pinpoint what it is.
I feel like he was overacting a little bit, but I didn't mind.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, yes, I did too. I felt like he was trying to be.
And I've never seen the Old Spice guy in a film before, but I thought he did good as Mike.
He did. Mike is just annoying.
Yeah.
As an adult, really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
He's like a whiny bitch. He is, man. I don't.
That's fine. I get it. What else do we... Well, obviously, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is fantastic. I do agree with you from your rapid fire that he was underused. Mm-hmm. Although with how you said that, I thought he was going to be at even less than he was. But they sprinkled him in. But it's mainly his interactions and the flashbacks.
Yeah.
Right. It's like the deleted scenes from the first movie, like they added back in.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird.
Do you know
he was fantastic.
You know my major issue with both of these films was, and the problem is I think in the book it was a little, even in the television series. Well, the television they couldn't do much with it, but both of these things, there's not a single fucking time ever as kids that you thought Pennywise was going to kill one of those kids, and as adults, you don't think he's ever really going to kill any of them. You saw Eddie coming. Well, that was also in the book, but I mean that was way. The book. I mean, the long drawn out. I think I got him. Then they don't do it right away.
Right.
No, Rich. He keeps saying it. I'm like, okay, here. But it bothered me because I never once. I thought he's just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. I'm never gonna kill you. You're like my fucking Joker to Batman. I'm never going to fucking.
It does
kill you.
Kind of feel like that.
And I hated that. In the book, at least, there were times where he had one of them trapped. Mm-hmm. And how the fuck are they going to get out of there? And they were saved because he was about to kill them. And they didn't make you feel like that a single time at all.
Right.
And that bothered me because I sat back not worried a bit. If
they would have went with the direction of like kind of like the Batman Joker relationship and like really went into it, like I feel like that could have worked because especially with a couple lines from the film. He's talking about how like he's thought about them and dreamt about them for 27 years and like he's missed them. Like it's kind of like crazy.
Show more how he's feeding off their fear more.
Yeah.
And that's why he hasn't killed them yet. He's
just like
he keeps fucking with them more.
Like he's underground like for those whole 27 years thinking back at it just jerking off.
Yeah.
Like oh fuck that fear was so good.
Yeah. I'm saying just do that.
See, this is where I think it's hilarious. Like me and you, we think about the weird shit like in between stories.
It's because
like, what did it do for those 27 years while he was dormant? He was just like, oh yeah, remember when I scared that kid and ate its face? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we think it in a very human way. Yeah. What are we gonna be doing?
Yeah,
if I got nothing left to do, but
it's like I got 27 years to kill. My wrists are gonna be sore.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the creature design.
Yeah.
This is a little weird though. The Stanley spider head.
Yeah.
Why was it the kid Stanley?
I don't know.
They really shortchanged the adults. I mean, I know he opted out in the first like 10 minutes of the movie. We already said spoiler alert. Fucking Stanley bitches out like, nope, done. Kills himself in a bathtub.
You know, maybe it's because it never was able to see what he looked like as an adult since he never came back.
Oh.
I'm guessing maybe that's why they went with if someone was off to the side and said,
that makes sense to me.
Now it works.
Yeah.
For you? Yeah.
Could somebody please explain to me why Hayden Christensen was put back into Return of the Jedi as fucking old ass or not old? He was He was Darth Vader. Young. He was Anakin.
Yeah.
Like in the fucking apparition form. That was one of the dumbest fucking additions.
I agree.
Yeah. Why do we always find a way to like shit on something about Star Wars?
This wasn't even
fucking Last Jedi. I just took a shit on the special edition Return of the Jedi. I fucking did it. All right.
They shouldn't have fucking touched those movies.
No. But
anyway,
so the Stanley spider head was pretty creepy as shit. I liked it.
Yeah, that was done
well.
And
the fact that it had spider legs but baby hands.
Yeah.
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I agree.
I wish they didn't make the old lady some like giant weird
why does
creature
he do that?
thing.
It seems like this is what Like, he did Mama, and Mama was, that creature design was, it was good. It was creepy as fuck, and it was good.
What was a real person?
Yeah, but I'm saying, I don't know.
I know, like,
I
he wanted,
I get the
like,
snot dude being kind of, I never did like the way he looked in that first movie either.
the leper.
Yeah. I didn't like the way he looked.
It looks too waxy.
It's too, yeah.
Like, obviously makeup head doll.
Yeah, I didn't like that. So she was basically looking like the same thing, although, yeah, I don't know.
I know they wanted to go, like, with it, like, an exaggerated monster version of that old lady, but you didn't have to take it that. Why was she, like, 8 feet tall?
Buck naked with her titties hanging,
Yeah.
swinging all over the place.
I mean, her titties were as tall as my torso.
Yeah.
Saddlebags.
I don't think that Beverly ever looked down at them either. And I'm sorry.
I would.
Hell yeah. You see that running at you? How do you not take a gander down? You got to at least do it once up and down. Mm-hmm. I bet it's nasty, but
Yeah.
but you got to look.
Yeah, I liked, for the most part, all the creature design, except for the few things why I just didn't like the creature or something else. Don't fucking chew on that straw, you son of a bitch.
Sorry. What about the at the I want to say Chinese? Yeah,
The Chinese restaurant?
Chinese restaurant.
I was fine with that stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was actually pretty fun.
Yeah,
A lot of it was pretty
all
fun.
those weird things coming out of the fortune cookies.
Yeah, although the reaction of the Asian lady stepping back into the room was not accurate.
Is everything okay here?
Yeah. Why is there not like a you guys are fucking up my restaurant?
Yeah,
look,
or
too?
like, why haven't the cops shown up?
Yeah, something.
Anything.
The jokes were most, except for, Hater, they were just too da-dun-dun. Like you expected him to say, this is one of the funny things.
I thought they went too far with the jokey.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's particularly when, what was the name of the shitty kid, Bowers or something?
The one that kills.
The one that came back, yeah. Is that Bowers?
I think
so.
Bowers.
When he escapes the mental hospital, which, I mean, I guess they give us enough to understand, like, okay, he saw the red balloon.
I did like seeing that scene of the sewers with the water shooting out, but they didn't do a flashback time thing there. So for a minute there, I was like, wait, so he's still a child today? Because that's not how it was in the book.
Yeah, they weren't exactly consistent with how they went back and forth
That bothered
between
me.
present and past.
Yeah.
But he sees the red balloon. I guess that's enough for us to like catch on to like, okay, he knows that it is back and he's fucking psyched about it because he's a crazy fuck.
Yeah.
And then he gets to his room and zombified version of his buddy crawls out from the bed. Is that shit in the books?
I want to say it is. Yeah,
Okay.
I want to say it is.
That portion, weird as fuck to me because I know it manifests these things that aren't fucking real. Why is there a zombie fucking dude who can drive a car?
That's right. And it's only supposed to be manifesting what your fears are. What you're afraid of is what it becomes.
Yeah, and he's not afraid of that guy. He saw him. He's like, I don't know what the guy's name was. I'm gonna call him Lester. He's like, Lester, and the thing like gives like a weird zombie grin. Like, yeah, it's me. I'm Lester.
Yeah.
Just I'm dead, but I'm cool. Like, here's your knife back. I've kept it. Like,
The balloon
where did this
scene.
knife come from?
Yeah.
And then he fucking kills a bunch of people to get out. I don't know why. Like, they never really give you a great explanation as to why this kid's like
Deranged.
It's like right-hand man.
They don't
like
really in the
his
book
secret
either.
assassin.
It's just the guy's just a terrible, terrible kid to begin with.
Right.
So it just, but it never really goes into that he's also mentally disabled too, and he's easy to manipulate. It doesn't do that. I don't know.
I mean, I kind of gathered that, but
Well, yeah.
like I never understood. Like, okay, so Pennywise.
I'm not saying he is mentally disabled in the book. I'm saying
Well, he's not mentally. He has mental illness. I don't know if I'd say mentally disabled.
that's what I meant to say. Yeah.
So I don't understand like why Pennywise would be like, since he feeds off of fear and shit, and he sees this kid, and he's like, wait a minute, this is like the Predator team up with that chick at the end of that movie.
Oh God.
So why is Pennywise like this guy? I'm okay with this guy. I don't want to eat this guy. I want him to create havoc.
That's the one thing that never made sense to me in the books either. Okay, is that why does it need this guy at all? At
Yeah.
any time, he could literally kill any of these people individually. Anytime. He's showing up at their fucking sinks. It doesn't matter where they're at. He's just wherever the fuck he wants to because the drains go wherever he wants, right?
Right.
So it never made sense to me in the books that he even needs this kid to begin with.
No,
he
it
could
makes
literally
no
show
sense.
up while you're sleeping and fucking eat you at any moment.
And
it makes
also,
no sense.
Well, I know I mean, part of it, he needs the fear, probably. Like
Yeah.
I mean, that gets him hard, right?
Oh yeah.
He can't eat you until you get him
Until
there.
you're scared shitless.
Yeah. So he's got to be rock hard before he takes a bite. So, but another thing I don't get is like, okay, so say Pennywise is like, okay, I if I have this guy out there and he's like my agent of chaos.
Yeah.
How does he get to feed off the fear that dude's fucking creating?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Right?
Right.
So this dude just shows up to stab Eddie in the face, which that scene, I actually hated that scene because that's not how I would react to getting stabbed in the face.
No.
He's like kind of backed away, kind of like making a joke out of it into the fucking tub.
And then pulls the curtain. Yeah.
And then pulls the curtain like, oh, it's okay, bud.
Yeah.
And then stabs the guy through the curtain.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and he's like, oh, Bowers is here. He stabbed me in the face.
Acting like he's not still
Yeah.
stabbed in the face. Right.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
I fucking hated that scene.
I did too. I think that's probably part of the reason why I didn't like that actor playing that character. These actors had nothing to work with.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we're landing on scenes that we hated because I just started that. I hated the Stephen King
You did
cameo scene.
I actually didn't
It was
mind
long.
It was
and unnecessary.
It was long. I think that's his longest. It might be his longest scene he's ever cameoed. Like it was drawn out.
His accent and it was cracking me up.
He kind of does that same accent in another one of the movies. I want to say one of the ones in the 80s, one of the Creep Show.
That's an old bike right there.
Yeah.
Okay, Steven. And what was with the joke, the whole fucking movie about shitty endings? Were they just preparing us for a shitty ending?
Oh, it's because...
Is that in the book?
No, that's the thing. No, it's the thing about... Well, it's about that kid. Yes, he gets... When he becomes an author and he can't finish a book well...
I mean, is it all just an inside joke about how the fact that
about
Stephen
King can't ever finish?
So is that a moment for him to laugh at himself? Is that what he's doing?
Sure. I guess it's in the book that way, too.
I mean, did they have to do it the whole fucking movie, though?
No.
As a running joke?
Man, it just... They beat on the drum too many times on too many things in it. And it's too fucking long to do what they did.
Yeah, they could have cut so much stuff, and it would have made this a tighter film. I would have gave it a higher grade. It still wouldn't have been as good as the first. I agree. I stand by the opinion that given the things I already mentioned, like we're never going to be as connected to these adult characters as we were the child characters. And they're just, it's not as scary when they're adults.
Yeah.
At least this particular kind of story. That it was never going to be as good as the first. It just wasn't going to. If they would have tightened this thing up, I might have gave it a B.
Yeah. Yeah. I might have given it a B minus.
So technical.
I'm so...
Might have been a B minus.
There's too much in it that bothered me. As far as
I saw Muschietti's cameo.
Me?
That was me.
Oh, that's you. Okay. You saw... Oh, yeah. That was...
I mean, well, you were like, made a big deal about it. I'm like, he's just in the background of a shot, like looking at some fucking pills or something.
I hate that shit. He's looking at pills and you notice the camera does a little... Then it cuts to the guy at the counter and then immediately cuts back and he's just not there anywhere in the store. It's like you make it a point to show him for a good, almost 30, 45 seconds. He's there. Cut back to the guy talking, cut back to him again. And he's just nowhere in the store. It's stupid.
He got his pills and he ran. It didn't bother me. I was more bothered by the Stephen King scene.
It's the blatancy of it all.
The Stephen King thing is way more
he's always in all
jerking yourself off kind of scene.
He's almost in all of his when
sure, that's fine. I have no problem with people being in their own shit, but that was a lengthy scene. It's like,
we're
hey
in
guys,
all of our own shit.
I made this fucking movie. Look at me. He's like fucking jerking his own shit off with his silly accent.
It's funny. The Stephen King's the one thing. It was a little too long.
Way too long.
But it was
that whole scene was unnecessary because that wasn't even fucking Bill's thing. The bike wasn't his fucking thing.
He says
it was Georgie's goddamn boat.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Because
Right.
he wasn't going to fit that bike in that fucking Indian sack.
You love that he's at the carnival and just sees the kid getting eaten in front of him. And then he calls the guys to tell them, I'm just going to go kill this by myself. And gets on his little bike. And everyone's like, fuck this. We can't let him go by himself. Then they take the car and they
Yeah.
arrive at the exact same moment.
I mean, that makes sense.
No, it's stupid.
Physically.
It's just, come on. I mean, play with it a little bit, man. Give me something.
Fine.
There's no suspense in
Okay,
this.
that's just a nitpicky type thing. Let's get into the bigger issues
The
with this.
fucking trailers got to quit showing every godforsaken thing.
Absolutely, I agree. You read the book, so you're going to be at least a good source of info on this. I have questions.
I'll try.
So Pennywise, feeds on fear and kids. Why the fuck did he eat the gay guy that was thrown off the bridge?
Right.
Was that in the books? Was
No,
that a completely
I
added
don't
scene?
believe that was in the books.
Okay, so
I believe, if I remember correctly, Mike starts calling people and just starts ringing off all these kids that have been taken. Like kids, teenagers, but
Yeah.
all kids. Nobody an adult.
See, I get why Pennywise or how we can refer to him either way, want to go after them because they're like the ones that got away, you know?
Yeah.
He's got like a real hard on for them.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do adults. So that whole scene, I was like, weird.
Yeah, weird.
Weird.
It's because they wanted
And
to show
also,
you.
like, how shitty.
Well, remember they wanted to play on the fact that Richie's eventually revealing
I
himself
get it.
being gay, but that was not the way to do it.
No.
Yeah.
I hated that because I was like, that doesn't fit with what I know of the character. Also, Pennywise, manifests as your greatest fears, right?
Yeah.
I have issue with this
Okay.
because I don't think a big old naked lady is Beverly's biggest fear.
No. It's
No.
always her dad.
Always her dad. What the fuck was that?
Yeah. If I remember correctly, that scene doesn't even exist in the books.
I'm sure it doesn't.
There's
Eddie,
a bunch of cool shit in the books that is
Yeah.
not like turning into a werewolf, all kinds of shit.
Eddie apparently is still afraid of germs. So they were like, you know what? We got to cut back on budget because we DH'd these kids and that costs a lot of money. Let's just get that same thing that we did the first movie with the leper guy.
That's fine. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Even though like that feels like, oh yeah, like we'll just go with that same thing again to save money. At least that one made sense. It still fit the character.
Except he's manifesting as his mom and dad at the same time.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
I'm like, you can't do that.
Well, no, that was the flashback.
I know.
But when he
but
was, I'm
but
talking about
saying-
when he's the adult.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, when he's the adult
just
too,
when
yeah.
he's the adult. And then he just popped out as himself to tell Richie, I know your secret.
Yeah.
It's like,
I hated that whole scene, by the way. I thought it was going to be cool as fuck from the trailer when they just showed him floating over the lumberjack.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think of his name. Anyway.
Paul Bunyan.
I was like, this can be a cool, whatever the fuck this is going to be cool. He's floating in or something. That was a dumb scene. I hate that shit. They keep showing Pennywise sitting somewhere talking to the kid or talking to the adult version, getting in close to them, a balloon pops,
And then
he just lets you
gone.
run away. And
Yeah.
he just watches you run away. He did it in the back fucking yard of the house that time with Eddie, and he does it with Richie here. It just come on. I do like every time that it's a public place that they show in the background that everyone stops what they're doing and they all turn to watch. I like that they stayed consistent with that because it's creepy. But
and then when he started like saying like almost like singing like I know your secret or whatever, they were swaying in the background.
Yeah.
Which was kind of funny. And then later when they go to fight him, when he turns into a giant spider, and they still have these individual moments. I mean, it's the same as the first movie, really.
Yeah.
Beverly is in a bathroom stall with a bunch of people trying to break in to watch her poop, I guess.
That was really
and then
weird.
blood fills up the stall.
Yeah, most blood ever.
What?
They kept harping about this is gonna be a ridiculously.
Have they seen Evil Dead 2?
Supposedly this was the most blood used, but I would honestly agree with you. It felt like there's got to be way more blood in Evil Dead 2 than this film.
What adult fear is that? What is her fear?
I guess of having her period. Well, remember she had all that blood shoot out of the bathroom sink.
Does she still have that fear? I mean, I know that was related to like her period, probably when
her dad
they were a kid, yeah.
Yeah.
But as an adult, doesn't match up to me. Now, what's the fat kid's name?
Ben.
Ben. Okay, adult Ben.
Hunky.
Yeah, that dude.
That dude.
That dude was carved out of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd polish it. Anyway,
that was dumb. That whole
his
scene
thing,
was dumb.
His at least makes sense to me as an adult fear of being buried alive or claustrophobia.
That would be mine.
Yeah. Throw in some spiders for good measure.
Yeah.
I mean, they did. There's a giant fucking clown spider.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they spent some budget on that
It's
too,
just
because that
they're
looked
like
good.
They were just like, we need to use more of Bill, because we barely see him the whole film. Let's put his head on the spider the whole time.
It at least looked good.
No, it did.
The resolution. I should get back to that. The ritual of Chud.
I fucking hated that part of the book so much.
Yeah, so weird. How they explained it.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was at least serviceable. Like, I liked the animation style that they did for this, explaining this ancestry bullshit.
By the way, that's what the spider actually looked more like.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay. And then they do it and it doesn't work. And they're like, oh, we got to make him small. Let's try to make him go through this crack so he gets small.
And we'll step on him.
And then we'll squish him like a bug. And then they're like, can't do it because he blocks the way. He's too smart. He's a big, fast spider. And they're like, there's more than one way to make somebody feel small.
Also, he can read your thoughts. That's how he knows what your fears are.
Yeah. So they just start telling him what he is.
Yeah.
And that makes him small.
Right? Yeah. I'm telling you, Stephen King, he can write like a son of a bitch. Character development, great. Story ideas, great. He cannot end a book where you're satisfied.
And then like when he like gets so small and his head like starts like almost like melting and he's like,
yeah, that was actually one of my favorite looking parts of him. I hated
it was
that.
Weird.
It was just because I liked seeing Skarsgård doing these facial expressions. It wasn't what was happening or the scene or anything. I was just like, let me do another one of those weird looking faces.
Yeah. And the fact like he's trying to get him. And one of his last lines is like, look at how you've grown.
Yeah. Right.
So fucking dumb.
Dumb.
Well, that whole scene's dumb. That whole resolution's dumb. I mean, they were setting you up for a shit. Like, the whole joke was like, you don't know how to end it. Guess what? They were preparing you because, I mean, that's not...
Take some fucking liberties and make it a better ending than what the book does.
They should have done that.
Yeah.
And then that's like, okay. But then it goes on for another like 25 minutes.
I told you, man. It's the Lord of the Rings of the Lord of the Rings.
Jumping into the water was their pillow fight scene from Lord of the Rings, and then it just keeps going.
It just keeps going.
And when they even did more flashbacks in the end because they were like, we need to end this on the kids so people stay really connected on this. And I'm like, God damn it. It's a shame because I think there was a better film in this than what they gave us.
Oh, there's a longer version. You heard what he's doing, right?
They're going to do an entire mashup of the first part and this part,
and the second part, with all the added scenes. You're looking at 8 to 9 hours of a film you're going to go in the theater.
No one's ever going to fucking watch that.
Who would do that?
Well, I shouldn't say it. Somebody's going to watch that.
Someone's going to watch it.
But why? Why? Like, this movie, like, I would pop the first movie in any day and watch it. This chapter 2, it's okay, but I would definitely have to fucking be in the mood to sit down and watch a 3-hour long fucking movie.
It sucks because I don't know what to do. I almost feel like I have to buy it because that book was such an integral part of when I was 12. Like I fucking loved that book. And
honestly,
I thought Skarsgård was so good.
This would have been better as an HBO or Showtime limited miniseries. I mean, HBO, they get the fucking budget. They could have done everything they did in these films in a miniseries on HBO, and it would have been great. You would have got the time to develop characters. Like I said, like the adult versions, we literally get a 1 to 3 minute scene of them to set their character up and give us any kind of connection to them. Beverly's in an abusive relationship. Richie's a comedian and he choked on stage. And like all these stupid things.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I guess that's enough. Eddie's married to a woman that's basically his mom. And he's risk management or whatever he is.
Yeah.
And like that's all you got. Give me like I'm gonna keep saying this. If you got like a lengthy ass book or like a comic book, do a fucking show.
Yeah.
Or a limited
I agree
miniseries.
with you.
Give us the proper time with the characters for the story to have more impact.
This is where the Dark Tower was never going to work.
Well, they're doing a series of it.
I got to see how they're doing it.
Well,
I mean, it's
got to be better than that film.
That fucking ending. First of all, I read every one of those fucking books. Every fucking one. Mm-hmm. And maybe 3 of them I enjoyed the story. The rest of them had snippets during it that I liked reading. Snippets in these 400 to 600 page books. And the rest of it I wanted to kill myself. And the ending, I wanted to rip my fucking head off for wasting all those hours reading these books. Because the ending is just it's so fuck you at the end of it. I'm just like...
Well, I mean, come on. It's Stephen King. You had to know it wasn't going to wrap up the way you want or anything.
But I didn't like the stories. Like, I didn't like the stuff.
Before we end this out, did you like the tortoise cameo? I guess it's too absurd to show a giant like space tortoise.
So let's just put her on a desk.
So let's make a little cameo for a tortoise with some jewels on its fucking head in the fucking classroom.
You know what? I didn't want to see it in the space thing. I thought that was weird and dumb as shit.
Sure, and that's a good omission. I just like when I saw that thing on that desk, I was like, huh.
Yeah, and they made sure you got that you could see it. Like, you know, they didn't zoom in or anything, but they held it. So.
And you saw enough to like it had like a jewel on its head and shit. It's like that's hilarious. Speaking of, like, you saw that. I mean, you've watched all of Rick and Morty. You saw the moment when they were running away from Sandman and they had the fucking tortoise in their hand, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Rick was like, "Don't look at it." All right, I think we've talked enough about this. Me and you are on the same page. We actually both gave this the same grade, which I'm surprised by.
I am, yeah.
Both gave it a C.
C.
And I'll reiterate, it's not a bad film. It's just not anywhere near as good as the first, and just not. It just can't. It was never going to be able to deliver on the expectations.
I stick with what I said during the rap review. Just change the fucking story and just make it the kids the whole time for the second film, because the kids were so much better at their characters, and it was more fun to watch. You gave a shit more. I know it doesn't match the book and what happens in the 27 years later. Change some shit.
They could even have the kid. I mean, they could have like used the kids as they are now as like, 15 and 16-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way they don't have to de-age them.
Eddie looks completely different now. I've got the picture with him Shazam. He barely looks like himself from It.
Oh yeah, that's the same fucking kid, right?
Same kid in the cast. Yeah.
And of course the dude that's in Stranger Things.
Yeah,
he's gotten like super tall and
super tall. Now Bill looks exactly the same fucking age.
Yeah.
Like, he looks almost identical. I just saw a trailer of movies, and now he looks almost identical.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have done it with the kids at their current age, and because they seemed like, oh yeah, they were definitely like 12-ish. Now they're like teenagers at that kind of change of life, like puberty. I mean, I guess Beverly already was, but they could have done it, and it would still been impactful. Like, you can even have the same character deaths, like,
sure,
because you could touch on you know, not child, but like youth suicide.
Yeah.
And like having Eddie die. I mean, that all those things would have been far more impactful with that cast than it was this new cast.
I would have hated seeing little Eddie die.
Yeah.
No. This guy didn't give a fuck.
Now, I mean, it's a double-edged sword because there would be people that would be like, they completely changed it, blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
I don't care. It had been a better movie.
Yeah, this was an opportunity to improve it. You could have done basically the same story, but, I mean, they would obviously had to have changed the lore that, you know, it comes back, you know, in quicker
like the people
intervals.
that compare Tron. People say Matrix is a ripoff of Tron. And I don't believe that. I mean, I can see similarities of stuff, of ideas and stuff, but you know what? Let's just say it was. Even if it was, I'm sorry, Matrix is a better fucking way of doing it.
Yeah.
Fucking
exactly.
do it.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But so I wouldn't like go see it if you want to. I wouldn't tell anybody not to necessarily see it.
People are gonna see it. Yeah.
They're definitely gonna see it. Yeah. But fuck, it's 3 hours long.
It.
Have we said it enough? All right. You got anything going on?
Still writing.
I like that sample you sent me. Am I allowed to tell him that you're working?
Sure.
I think you've already mentioned it. Michael's working on a parenting guide, and written from only the perspective that Michael has, and it's pretty funny. And unless you're like really uptight and you think he's being serious,
You're not gonna want to read it.
You're not gonna want to read it because I mean he's not being serious for the most part.
For the most part.
And it's really funny. So I'm looking forward to that project.
Thank you. What about you? Did you do any art stuff since the last time we spoke?
No. Like the big push this past week was trying to actually like we got our rapid fire review of this movie out the day that it came out.
Yeah.
It had much better response than we usually get.
Right.
Nowhere near some of these assholes that get thousands upon thousands of views. But it was respectable for a tiny channel.
Respectful for us. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was working on.
We got more subscribers.
Yeah. Thanks
good.
to everyone who subscribed. That was nice. And then I rounded up these toys for you.
I'm excited about those toys.
Michael loves toys.
I do.
And not that I don't enjoy these toys. It's just I was paring down my stuff and I knew that he would appreciate them.
And you can look at them every time you come over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But other than that, I ain't got nothing.
No. Until next time, thank you for listening. I don't know. I've got nothing funny today, guys. I'm a little bummed out. Can I say it one more time? Airborne, Ohio.
Hey, if you like what you just saw, we'd appreciate a like and subscribe. Because, that helps us. And don't you want to help us? Look at him. He needs help. Hit that. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it hard. Hard. And then comment about how hard you hit it.